Hey guys, John here, and welcome to the final NXT before TakeOver Brooklyn 2. A new match gets added this week, a new women's match. Hideo Itami makes his return. They hype up the matches at TakeOver, and an exclusive interview with the WWE NXT champion Samoa Joe and his number one contender Shinsuke Nakamura. But let's get into the first match of the night, Hideo Itami versus Mustafa Ali. So as I said a couple of seconds ago, the first match on the card for this week's NXT is Hideo Itami versus Mustafa Ali. This is Hideo Itami's second match back in NXT since something wrong with his shoulder. He still has like a scar there or something. That was visible last week, but not this week, strangely. And Mustafa Ali, he is a Pakistani superstar and is currently competing at the Cruiserweight Classic. Ali gained an early advantage in the match, striking Itami down. Itami then hit back with a kick to the groin. And Ali did use some of his quickness to dodge some of Itami's attacks, but couldn't dodge a baseball slide, dropping the rookie on the outside. Ali regained the control with the swinging neckbreaker and 2 count. Ali then locked in a chin lock, and Itami powers on to be struck with an enziguri in the corner. Ali hits another neckbreaker for another 2 count. Itami starts to fight back with his strike combo thing, hits the shotgun dropkick, and ends the match with his flying knee for the win. So the match ends, Hideo Itami winning via pinfall. A good start to NXT, good match to kick it off. Ali looked impressive, as did Itami from his returns of injury. I'm looking forward to see more of the two of them in the future. I can definitely expect Hideo Itami gunning for the NXT title after Joe and Nakamura are done their program. I'd say I prefer Itami Nakamura since it's two high-quality Japanese superstars going at it, which will be delicious. But I wouldn't mind Samoa Joe as well. They have the sort of history there in NXT at around the same time. So I would like to see Itami versus Joe or Nakamura. I just wanted the title picture. But up next isn't actually a match. It's a video package. So let's get into that. So up next was a video package hyping the match between Bobby Roode and Andrade Cien Almas. Mainly it was hyping Bobby Roode's in-ring debut in NXT. So what I can tell, I really like Bobby Roode. He's a good heel, and from what I saw in TNA, I used to watch TNA a little bit back in 2011, 2010, that's the sort of time period. He's a very good technical wrestler. So I'm excited for this match at Brooklyn. Cien is a very good opponent for Bobby Roode. I do think Bobby Roode's going to come out with a win, and I'd honestly be a bit shocked if he didn't. But I still expect him to go over. So up next is yet another video package. This week was packed with video packages. So let's get into that one. So the second video package of the night was hyping up the match between Asuka and Bayley for the NXT Women's Championship at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. It was a good, heartfelt promo. It started with Asuka winning the title at Dallas, Bayley's disappointment at loss, and her story of trying to get her rematch against Asuka. Then it also highlighted Asuka's dominance at the top of the NXT Women's roster. It's been a good rivalry, to be fair, between the two, and it's probably the best. They're probably the two best women on the NXT roster at the moment. Is it going to top last year's Brooklyn match between Bayley and Sasha Banks? Only time will tell, but it definitely has the potential to do that. Both are incredibly talented. I do expect Asuka's going to retain, and Bayley's going to go up to the main roster, and Asuka has a little more time in NXT. But I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So the next thing is another video package. They're really going all out in these video packages. So let's get into that. So the final video package of the night, thankfully, hypes the other matches at NXT TakeOver. That's not the NXT title match. We shall get to that later. But those matches include No Way Jose versus Austin Aries, Bobby Roode versus Andrade Cien Almas in a little more Steven, I guess. And the Revival versus Gargano and Ciampa for the NXT Tag Team Championships. They were pretty even. They were talking about like going over to Brooklyn is like an honor to them, and they're happy to be there and stuff like that. And it was a good promo. It was a good promo leading up to it. In terms of who I think will win the three matches, I always said Bobby Roode would beat Cien Almas. I hope Austin Aries beats No Way Jose and they do like a little tag team thing with Bobby Roode and Austin Aries reforming their tag team from TNA, and No Way Jose and Cien Almas make a team to try counteract them. In terms of the Revival versus Gargano and Ciampa, I want to see the Revival on the main roster as soon as possible. I do think Gargano and Ciampa are the future of the tag division there. So I do believe that Gargano and Ciampa might win. Although it could be the Revival as well. It's very tough to call this one. But that's the end of the video packages. Now we go to an actual backstage segment with the NXT General Manager, William Regal. So William Regal basically just says that NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2 is shaping up to be the best TakeOver event yet. In comes Billie Kay. Last week Billie Kay got a win over Liv Morgan, and she was pretty much upset that she wasn't on the TakeOver card, that she deserved it, is basically what she said, which, I don't know, she did have a good performance last week, and she was on SmackDown for a bit last month, but I don't even think she deserves to be on the card. But William Regal did put her in the match against the debuting Ember Moon. Now, you've heard me mention her a couple of times. Well, really only the second time you hear me say it. That's awkward. But she is coming from, I believe, American Wrestling Championship, something like that. And from what I hear, she's young and she's a good wrestler. Overall, a good get for WWE. They did show some video packages of her. Seems to have like some sort of like prophecy assassin ninja sort of gimmick, which I don't know. Hell, if Nakamura's gimmick works, then why the hell not? Why the hell not? But up next is the second match of the night, and actually the final match, a 6-women tag match. So the participants in this match was on the face sort of side. I guess they're faces. Liv Morgan, Nikki Glenncross, and SmackDown Live's Carmella versus Daria Berenato. She was on Tough Enough, the Days of Generation of Tough Enough. Mandy Rose and SmackDown Live's Alexa Bliss. So 2 of SmackDown's best women are in action, with 4 of NXT's future stars in the women's division. Alexa got things underway against Nikki Glenncross. Alexa gained an early advantage, but Glenncross did fight back with a flying crossbody for a very early 2 count. Alexa exited the ring for a timeout after a drop kick from Glenncross. Daria, what's her name? This is great sports commentary. Berenato, I'm sorry, that's a tough name to pronounce, gets tagged in as we go to a commercial break. When we come back, Liv Morgan is in, holding Daria down with a chin lock. Daria fights back, and Alexa Bliss distracts Liv, so Daria can gain control with a wicked clothesline. Bliss gets tagged in, and she gets a 2 count. Daria gets tagged back in, and then tags in Rose. The heels were in firm control of Liv Morgan for a long time. Daria got tagged back in, I should say, and she took it to Liv with a knee and a clothesline. I have to say, Daria's clotheslines, they are something else. They look really stiff. Almost Bray Wyatt levels of stiff. She locked Liv in with a hip lock in the center of the ring. Liv broke out with a pin attempt. Alexa got tagged in, and Liv hit her with an enziguri as Rose and Carmella are tagged in. Carmella hit a super kick on Rose for a 2 count after Bliss interrupted the pin attempt. Hell then broke loose, like everyone hitting their finishes on each other. But Carmella locked in the code of silence in the center of the ring on Rose, as you can see in the picture there, for the win. All four NXT women performed well in the match, less so for Wales, a bit more for Glenn Cross and Daria Bernardo. Carmella and Axa did help get some new talent over. So overall, it's a good ending match to the show. And the last thing to do is the exclusive interview between Shinsuke Nakamura and Samoa Joe. So the final segment of the show was an sort of interview conducted by Byron Saxton with the NXT champion Samoa Joe and number one contender Shinsuke Nakamura. I see security and William Regal there at the interview in the background, so it doesn't turn into a fist fight between Joe and Nakamura. Byron, I should see, and I said a little bit ago, Byron Saxton conducted the interview. To be honest, it was nice to see Byron do this interview, even though he's like but people say the worst announcer, but I actually think JBL's worse. Poor Mauro Ranallo. But anyways, Byron used to be a part of NXT. He was there when it was a rookies game show. I think he was in season 2, season 4. Either way, it has come on leaps and bounds since then, and it's changed for the better, in my opinion. Although the game show did produce some good guys like AJ, Daniel Bryan, Wade Barrett, Ryback, and a couple of other people I forget the names of. Oh yeah, Titus O'Neil. Yeah, he was there. But anyways, Nakamura and Joe both said they were excited for a takeover. Joe says that his major issue with Regal making the match was his lack of respect to him by the general manager. He says basically when he got there, he had to scratch and claw to get to his title shot, and Nakamura was in 2 months and gives it. And the thing that really ticked him off was that when Bayley wanted her rematch for her title, he went ahead and asked Asuka if that was okay, and he didn't do that with him and Nakamura. So he was a bit touchy about that. And he says he's starting to wonder if Regal even wants him as champion. And Nakamura says he's relaxed for the match as it is his style. You know, King of Strong style. Strong style is cool. Joe states that he and Nakamura have crossed paths before, probably over in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and they know each other very well. Joe even says that Nakamura trained at his dojo, but Nakamura doesn't think that was the case. Joe then states that he respects what Nakamura has done in the industry, but he doesn't respect the man himself. Nakamura started to play mind games with Joe, and Joe just like, what the hell is this? What the hell are you doing? And they start to get into a tussle. Joe sort of like stands up and then security tries to get in front of him, which they do. And Joe says he will beat respect into Nakamura at TakeOver Brooklyn 2. The match ends with Joe being restrained by security and Nakamura being escorted out by Regal. So, it was a good segment to close the show. You could definitely tell that Nakamura and Joe are really looking forward to the match. It is true, really, what Joe's been saying, that he has been disrespected as NXT champion by the general manager, similar to what CM Punk did in 2012 during when his title reign started to come up on a year. He was basically saying, I want respect, I demand respect, I've been champion for this long, and this idiot comes in, beats the guy who I've beaten twice, and gets a title shot. How does that make any sense? I do feel sorry for Joe, but again, I hope Nakamura wins at TakeOver. I do want Joe to go to the main roster, preferably to SmackDown, where he can have a feud with like Cena, or maybe he'll be best suited for Raw with the bigger guys like Rusev, Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Big Show, who we haven't seen for a long time, actually, to be fair. I wonder where he's gone. He has confirmed he's retiring next year, so that's going to be pretty sad. I know Big Show's like, meh, but he has been there for ages. But enough of my rambling. Anyways, good close to the show. Really excited for a TakeOver. As I said, I gave my predictions early in the match. Ember Moon to win, Austin Aries to win, Bobby Roode to win, Asuka to win, Samoa Joe to win, and Gargano and Ciampa to win. So that's my thoughts on this week's NXT. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you guys excited for TakeOver? Let me know again in the comments down below. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Take care.